To blame? Who not to blame? That is the fucking question. Baltimore, Chicago, San Francisco, Detroit. Four cities that are going through a terrible, terrible time. Baltimore, Maryland, home of the Baltimore Orioles, former home of the Baltimore Colts, and the home of the Maryland Terrapins. Elijah Cummings, congressman, now a chairman of the committee, got called out by the president for Baltimore for being in what it is today. A problem. Poverty is getting worse. A lot of rats running in the streets. But when the president called out Elijah Cummings for that, a lot of people on the left saying, well, he became even more racist than now. Oh, really? Okay, look at San Francisco. People are literally pissing and shitting in the streets. San Francisco was a place where you could go and have a good time, vacation, go to the best shops, go to the beach, fish off the wharf, ride the trolleys, Alcatraz. But now, it's crap. It's crap city. And whose responsibility for cleaning up the streets? The mayor. San Francisco is becoming more far left than anything else. San Francisco is one of my favorite cities here in California, besides Berkeley. And it is a huge disappointment. A huge disappointment. You know? San Francisco became a beautiful city over time, and now we have a Democratic mayor who is not doing her fucking job. The president didn't do that. Didn't cause that problem. Baltimore. The president had nothing to do with what's going on in Baltimore. If you were Detroit, what happened to Detroit? It's not what it used to be. It's not what it used to be. Chicago, murder capital of the United States. If when Rahm Emanuel was mayor of Chicago for 8 years, he proclaimed that Chicago is a Trump-free zone. The fucking idiot. Now Chicago has to deal with the new mayor for 4 to 8 years. I mean, shit. And now we got the NYPD pissed off because a judge says that one of their own has to be fired. Wow. Just because somebody fucks up, a policy states that no chokehold should be applied because it's dangerous. It could kill somebody. For example, Eric Gardner. If you're an officer, you gotta stop before you blow your fucking top off, man. You gotta understand this. There's things you cannot do as an officer, and one of those things is apply the fucking chokehold. The DOJ has put a ban on the chokehold, but do officers listen? No, they don't fucking listen. Then all of a sudden, this motherfucker on TV blows up. Look, we all know there's a close-knit blue wall of silence, the big blue line crap with officers. Okay, that's your butt in the fucking foxhole. But sometimes you gotta walk that line between justice and criminality. But when an officer puts his hands, his whole arm around the guy's neck, while one officer has the hands of the person that it killed, and a gang of them just got on top of the guy and killed him. And then the insult, after he died, he had every fucking piece of officer from NYPD wearing a shirt that says, "I can breathe." That's an insult. That's an insult. You murder a guy with a chokehold, and he says 11 times, "I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe." After he dies, days later, a couple of your own says that one shirt says, "I can breathe." There are victims of police brutality so heinous. Not one officer has ever felt a beating so severe they're within an eyelash being paralyzed or fucking dead. The citizens suffer. if somebody gets beat, so I mean, you could be a white guy, a black guy, Hispanic guy, anybody, no matter what race you are or what orientation you are. Back in the day, police officers didn't give a shit. Most of them were crooked anyway. But since the change, there's been kind of a block on things that they cannot do, but they still do it anyway. Baltimore PD, Freddie Gray. The guy couldn't walk. They carried him to the paddy wagon. Okay. They carried him. The guy was in pain. And 5 out of the 6 were acquitted. Why? If you take the racial shit out of this whole entire thing, people are getting so sick and tired of being called racist. Even when during a election season. Okay. If you're a supporter of a candidate, all of a sudden you're labeled a Russian agent, you're a racist, you're this, you're that, and whatever. They call you every name in the book, and it's all they got. Nothing else that they could get you on, or whatever it is. I mean, for example, Tulsi Gabbard, the chick from Hawaii. After she opened a can of whoop ass on Kamala Harris, they started to call her a Russian agent. Why is that? Why is that? You know? I bet they're gonna call her supporters racist. Watch, you'll see. And by the way, the Trump supporters are sick and tired of being called racist. Okay? Enough is enough, okay? A lot of you motherfuckers are throwing that word around like it's a fucking frisbee. You know, just because you support somebody don't mean you gotta follow along with their fucking bullshit, you know. That word has been thrown around way too much. And it needs to stop. Because it's bullshit. It's merely bullshit. Period. Whenever somebody says something, it's totally, completely taken out of content. And the term racist or racism is thrown out like a fucking frisbee. A couple years ago, if you own a firearm, you were labeled a racist if you own a firearm. Um, Question: what makes a person racist for owning a firearm legally? What makes someone, throw out a term, a racist to owning a firearm legally? There's no there's no race issue with that shit. Because it seems that it's the only word that dumbasses are throwing out now. That term has been thrown out quite a lot within the last 2 years. You know, again, if you look at Baltimore, the city of Baltimore, what's being done to clean it up? Nothing. Okay, in Michigan, what's happening with the water issue? Nothing's getting done. People are drinking bottled water because the water is so fucking tainted. Nobody is doing anything to fix it because nobody has the fucking balls to do it. It's all about it's about political power. It's about political power, and for themselves and for their friends in Wall Street. Instead of fixing the city, helping with the water bullshit, they wash their hands of it. In San Francisco, people are literally pissing and shitting in the streets. Look at Southern California. People are living in tents in Southern California, living in tents up and down the freeway and shit. What's being done there? Nothing. Nothing. Silicon Valley. People are living in vans and motorhomes because they can't afford a place to live. They're working at Google and Facebook. Okay? They're working at Google and Facebook and a couple other places in Silicon Valley. What's being done? Nothing. Okay? And you know, if you work for a company like Google and Facebook, you should be making some pretty good fucking money. You should be making some pretty good fucking money. But no. People are not making that much. Are they comfortable? Probably not. You know, I mean, it's one thing that, I mean, you guys, I mean, if the city was smart, that billionaire that bought a portion of a neighborhood, he bought, was it three houses that were together. He's cleaned that all out and building himself a house. Why? Why, when you could turn that the area into a mobile home park, you know, a place where people can park their motorhomes, park their vans, and live there. Of course, I got to pay taxes. Um, there's a lot of problems. If you're the mayor of Baltimore, Chicago, San Francisco, and Oakland, you need to clean up your fucking city. And Los Angeles too. Oh, let's talk about LA for a moment, okay, guys? There's this stupid motherfucker in Los Angeles. I've seen a documentary on this. It was this guy, a musician who built tiny homes for the homeless, and it looks like a regular tiny home. And each home costs about to build almost $2,000 to build. He put on top solar, and installed a little thing where you could charge your phone and shit. Have your own little home, and they could tow it. God for if you want to move anywhere, I'll move it for you. If you need to move someplace, I'll help you move it. But this one stupid motherfucker sent Caltrans to take these little houses and destroy them. And instead of helping find a solution, he became part of the big problem. If you love your city like you say you do, you stupid motherfucker, help figure out how to end poverty. Okay, help the homeless. You're paupering while they're laying in the streets. I'm gonna give an example. Yeah, I'm gonna give an example here. I went to pay some bills, and on the way back, I was walking by this building, and there's a guy laying on the ground, homeless guy, covered up, and I looked over and he's asleep. And he had his shopping cart, right by him, as he was laying down, sleeping. And I mean, it was a huge problem for the city because nobody's helping anybody. You know, I had this idea a few years ago, and if the city had a heart and totally put politics aside, they would have the balls to help the homeless. Los Angeles, San Francisco, the Bay Area in general have a homeless problem. And I mean, it is what it is. Anywhere you go, or where you do go, There's people that are shitting in the streets, pissing in the streets because they don't give a shit. You got people that are working for Google and Facebook and other companies living in their vans, living in their motorhomes, living in a motorhome, and the city wants to clear them all out. Well, if you want to fix the problem, find a solution that would help, not make things worse. Like in Baltimore, Elijah Cummings is blaming the president and he's blaming racism. See, that's what I don't understand, is that why do you want to throw in that racism bullshit when it has nothing to do with racism? None of it at all. When you're talking about a city that has not just poverty issue, not just homeless issue, but you got your streets, it's crap. Okay? If you represent the district of Baltimore, Maryland, it's on your fucking hands. The president had nothing to do with it. This has been happening before even Trump became president. Even before, way before. Law enforcement in Baltimore, Chicago, Los Angeles, Philadelphia has gone way, way out of control. Even in New York. Oh, fuck the NYPD. The NYPD takes things so fucking personal, don't they? Don't they? When a guy accused of selling illegal cigarettes, being accused of it, which there's no evidence of it, who broke up a fight between two people. And all of a sudden you got these two plainclothes cocksuckers with a badge accusing him of selling illegal cigarettes. What are proof in that? Zero. So the guy is running his business, he's minding his own business. The cops ain't leaving him alone. They attack him, one apply the chokehold, kills him. Then after he dies, what insult does NYPD do? Every single motherfucker wears a shirt that says, "I can breathe." The ultimate insult to a civilian. Here's my question. Has there been an officer that got the beating of his life, where he became paralyzed, broken bones, internal organ damage, internal bleeding, all other shit like that? Like, no. Why? Because if it ever happened, there'll be retaliation. Fullerton, California. Fullerton PD beat a guy to death. and the officers got off. They're just sitting there on the curb. Just sitting there. Minding his own business. Do you ever wonder why cops put on those black gloves? Because they're hoping to beat somebody. And those gloves, it's like wearing a built-in brass knucks. It's one of many reasons why nobody ever trusts cops. They don't know who to trust no more. It's not about better training, it's about wiping out a whole department and hiring new people who has common sense. Because when you look at officers like in Fullerton, NYPD, Baltimore, Los Angeles, Chicago, they've been a violent city for decades and shit. And what keeps an officer from going to prison is the FOP. They try to make sure that no officer goes to prison, no matter how fucked up they get. Don't matter. If he murdered a innocent person that they had nothing to do with anything, fuck it. They're going to find a way to. They're going to find a way to make sure that the officer doesn't go to jail or prison. They will try anything in their power to keep him on the force because they need his type. Stupid. We have that same issue here in Fresno. Fresno PD. Assholes. Nobody has the balls to wake up. I mean it. Nobody has the balls to wake up and realize, look, your spouse, brother, whoever, your family that's an officer, all the awards and accommodations don't mean shit. They could be crooked as fuck and still get awards for their shit. But behind all that is one crooked motherfucker. Even one in a three-piece suit in Congress. It's bullshit. It is bullshit. It's time to stop throwing out the racist bullshit. That word has to be stopped being thrown around like a damn frisbee. The media also takes this out of content. If they want to keep their ratings, they need to shut the fuck up, stop blaming the president for everything. Stop bashing the guy. Okay, here's an example. The president, Democrats in Congress and the Senate. The president, Democrats. What has the Democrats been done that the president has done? Nothing. See, the president is the lowest unemployment in decades for blacks, Hispanics, Asians, women, and teenagers. People are working. People are working. Democrats, nothing. We need this person to come in and testify. What has the congressional and Senate Democrats done? Nothing. Bitched, moaned. We need to impeach 45. Absolutely zero. Absolutely fucking zero. Absolutely nothing. I mean, and then things are getting better, but yet the president is still getting called racist. All kinds of names that even the supporters of his are getting called that too. So you're going to call somebody who supports the president a racist. It could be a Hispanic. It could be a Hispanic, black Trump supporter, and it's still been called racist. You could be an Asian Trump supporter and still be called racist. You could be a woman who supports the president. Oh, she's a racist. This needs to stop. Oh, he's a Russian agent. Bullshit. Now we have Tulsi Gabbard from Hawaii, who completely opened a can of whoop ass on Kamala Harris, who represents Bay Area. And after she cleaned Kamala Harris's clock, now they're going after her and say, oh, she's a Russian agent. Is this all they got left? Tulsi Gabbard is a Democrat. A 16-year veteran of 16 years. Run for president. And then after, they've tried everything on the president and fucking failed. Failed. Now they're going after Tulsi Gabbard, a fellow Democrat who's running for president. They're going after one of their own because she opened a can of whoop ass on Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris was Willie Brown's mistress while mayor of San Francisco. She was flat banking for the mayor of San Francisco, Willie Brown. And straight up, she was flat banking, hand and eating for Willie Brown, the former mayor of San Francisco. He helped start her political career while she was flat banking, hand and eating for the guy, while mayor of San Francisco. Holy shit. It's kind of funny that, going after a woman like Tulsi Gabbard because she opened a can of whoop-ass on Kamala Harris, the only political whore in Congress. They're going at Twitter, absolutely, just basically suppressed her on Twitter. That's bias. It's bias. Twitter's bias. Facebook, Google, and Twitter, bias bullshit. And now you got Apple who's fucking up because Siri can listen to everything you say, and what the hell? Siri can listen to you talk, and if you're getting down with it, ooh, she can hear a lot of shit. Siri can hear a lot of shit. Oh yeah, Siri can hear a lot of shit. Big time, pig time, no bullshit. Oh yeah. Alright guys, this is good old Grandmaster Evan here, and you just watched the Anonymous Liberty Media. If you're new to this channel, please leave a like, subscribe, comment below, and do not forget to hit the bell for notification. And if you've got this transmission, you are part of the resistance. Knowledge is free. If you ain't down with that, we got 3 words for you. Go fuck yourself. Peace out. I'm Revan. You're not. Fuck you. I'm out.